Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank God, Freddy. How are you?
Good, good, good. How do you feel?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well this morning.
Okay, cool. How is the temperature in Florida?
In Florida, it's quite nice. Be like a cool summer's day for your comparison.
Nice, nice. Okay. Okay, so when did you graduate?
So I graduated from your program approximately 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And tell me, like, did you fund your account? When will you fund it? Like, tell me
No,
that.
based on your coaching and some of your earlier on recommendations, I funded the account maybe with 2 or 3 classes left in the program.
Okay.
And following the same principles as what we were doing in the practice paper trading account. And it's been going well. Thank God, it's
Okay.
been
So
doing what
right
it's
now
supposed to do.
you're using your own money. So this is live trading.
Yeah, it's live trading now.
So did you do a few puts? Did you do one at least?
No, I've sold a couple, and I'm I have some shorter expiry dates.
Okay, good.
So
So how much premium did you collect so far?
so on a percentage basis, I'm probably averaging around 1.5% a week.
Okay, cool. A week.
Yes,
So that's 6% a month?
yes,
Yeah, because you're targeting that. Okay, I know we talked about. Oh yeah, okay, so
yes.
okay, good. Okay, so I usually tell people like to be calm and just expect 2%, 2 to 3%, but you're okay, that's fine. All good, all good. You're happy so far. Okay, so let's start. I have a 12 questions. We will go through them very quickly. Okay,
Sure.
so go back 3 months before you started. What was your biggest hesitation before joining the mentorship? Because anybody who is thinking about it, it's a bit of an investment, and they don't know me. They like, so what was your biggest hesitation 3 months ago?
The biggest hesitation for me was the time commitment. A 12-week program. Um, I've always thought that that would be a little bit of a hurdle for me to get over was the time commitment.
Yeah.
But with the fact that you allow us to coordinate with our other cohort members the time to fit our schedules, and that if we needed to reschedule, although not ideal, we can catch up with post-view classes and things like that. But I mean, the course isn't designed, it's better live. But my biggest concern was the time commitment. But after the 12 weeks, I would argue I should have done it sooner since the time
Sooner.
commitment
Okay.
is not
So
not
you
too
you
big.
postponed it a few times because of that? I didn't know that. Okay, like you're
Yeah, no,
like
I had postponed it a couple of times because I was worried about the time commitment.
okay, good. Okay, cool. Um, What specific results have you achieved during the 12 weeks? I'm not talking about money here. Like, what is, if there are two, three things that were the biggest things that you got out of the 12 weeks in terms of results, what would that be?
So a practical application of option trading. Even for me, I don't know if you knew this, but I have an undergrad in finance, and there's a whole class dedicated to options. And
Really?
yeah, and
You
learning how
should
to
you should have taught me. Okay.
and learning how to price an option using like the old school Black-Scholes model. Like I'm very
Yeah,
familiar
yeah,
with these, but never practically put it into place. So this was fantastic from a practical application point of view. And then also that was number one. Number two is the application through the app
yeah.
and having a routine around implementing the puts and the covered calls. Like this was a game changer for me, is the actual clicking of the buttons.
Okay. And what to click. Okay. And how did this impact your confidence?
Yeah, it greatly increased the confidence because you're removing the unknown of when, for example, when you're looking at an options chain and you see in the money, out of the money, and you see
Yeah.
calls and puts, and then on each side you see bid ask, and you're like, what does all of this
It's
stuff
so
mean?
it is so confusing in the beginning. Yeah, very
Yeah,
confusing.
it's like a riddle that I can't solve. But again, with the program, you learn, and then you know what questions to ask as time goes on.
Mm.
So it definitely boosts your confidence when you start practicing.
You said something very important, which is you took a course about options and you know how to use the formula. It's very complex formula, and this is a typical thing for all the different. educational programs out there. Um, they will teach you about the thing. They will never teach you how to make money of it, which is normal. Which is normal. So it's really a crime. Like, it's amazing how we go through all these years of schooling. I have a master's in engineering, and how is it that the topic of making money is never the key? Anyway, okay, next. What was the most valuable lesson you learned that made a difference in your investing journey? So in this 12 months, if there's one lesson,
Yeah, patience and confidence in the strategy. The market won't always do what you're expecting it to do, but
exactly.
when you put the probabilities on your side, and you trade with that probability in your favor, and I mean those that will listen to this and then they don't haven't gone through the course, they'll understand it once they do the course what we mean by that. Um, but having patience with the model over time will work in your favor.
Okay. Options is a very complex topic. How did the program simplify the whole thing for you in terms of options?
Well, I think that you take everybody at their level. So, if you found that one person in the class was quicker, you could adapt to them individually. But if you found some of those that were falling behind or, weren't picking up a concept as quickly, the class would just patiently work with this individual to help them understand. And it wasn't in a pressure cooker setting or, a
Mm.
large classroom setting. So you got to know your peers over time, and so this simplicity of teaching a complex um, topic, you delivered it well with your teaching style.
Okay, usually the first few weeks are very confusing, but there's a time in the program somewhere in the 12 weeks whereby everything clicks together. Like, in the beginning, there's a lot of things and technical analysis and theory and IBKR, and people are usually very confused in the beginning. So which week was things when they clicked? Have they ever clicked?
Yeah, I think it clicked earlier on for me only because I have some experience
Background.
with investing and some education in it. But it clicked most when we would review the trades. So when you
Hmm.
had each one of us put our share our
Great.
screen and go over each individual trade, um, that's when it really clicked.
Cool. Um, can you comment on the structure and the cadence of the weekly sessions? Did it help you? What was the things that were good at it, or things that made it effective for you?
Yeah, the once a week is effective, and there was a period in the middle where I was eager to learn more quicker.
Hmm.
So it would be, do I have to wait a week to get to the next
We have to
session?
wait a week. Can we meet tomorrow?
Yeah, can we meet tomorrow? Can we just get this going? Uh, but I mean, it's designed to help you practice and give the account a chance to fluctuate based on market activity. So you know what is required in terms of reaction or not required. Sometimes you don't need to do anything, but to learn
Mm.
that. So I think the cadence is done is appropriate for the program.
And I think part of it as well is that I need to calibrate because everybody has their own speed, right?
Mhm.
Somebody wants to go the 12 week and the fact that you need to do something and wait for a week is very important because it calibrates everybody that this is the rhythm of the market, right?
Yes.
So everybody thinks of the market of what they want, whether it's going to go up by a certain percent or go down, or how is it going down, all this stuff. But the fact that you need, because a lot of times this is what we need to do, is do nothing and wait. That's what we need, right? It's not a really high touch program. So it calibrates people as well. So I think you have a good point in that.
Yes.
How did the mentorship and support from me as a mentor, like well, I know you're talking to me, but forget about me. Like, how did the mentor or me help you and support you? What are the main things that I did that was helpful to you?
Well, you created an environment where it was okay to ask a question,
Mm,
which is important, but you also made yourself available to questions outside of the class, like with the WhatsApp group where we can ask a question either to our peers or to
mm,
you directly. This is what you want from a mentor, somebody who's accessible. And you were relatable too because you explained some of the the ideas or concepts where we might trip ourselves up just based on feedback from your other classmates or your other students or
Yeah.
colleagues that you're around with. So you were relatable in that respect. But most importantly, as a mentor, you make yourself available to your students.
Okay, good. Um, what would you say to someone who is on the fence about joining the mentorship program? And I know I've been in the same position for many, many times. It's hard to decide at some point. So, what would you tell somebody who's at the fence? How would you he think he or she should think about it, and whether it's a good program?
You know, I say this with a lot of background in personal finance and working with people in personal finance. You know, there's a few things that people really pay attention to, and their interest all of a sudden peaks, which is when you talk about money. And there's actually a lot of anxiety around money management because they don't understand money, you know, and especially if they go into a bank or they speak to their financial advisor, they're just really trusting what this individual has to say, which is okay. Like when I go to the doctor's office, I'm not a doctor, that my advisor tells me what I'm doing. I would say at minimum, we have to be educated. So somebody who's looking at this program and thinking, you know, do I really want to become an options trader? Is this what I want to do is become active in my money management? I would say at minimum, you need to be aware of what you can do, what the opportunity looks like. And it is to a certain degree passive. You don't have to be active. It's
Mm.
a relatively straightforward program, and it's important that you become educated. And 12 hours, or the equivalent of 12 hours or a 12-week program, is really nothing in the grand scheme of things when you're
It's really 24 because
well,
sometimes, like, it's never really 1 hour.
the
I tell you,
longer sessions, sure, but even 24 hours, you know, to help
it's
you.
a very small price to pay to the amount
Yes,
of knowledge and how will you be equipped going
yes,
forward.
yes, a very small price to pay.
Okay. Um, did the program deliver on its promise? Like, remember the promise was, I'll show you how to do 24, 36% uh, a year in a way that is not high risk, only by spending 10 minutes a day. Did it deliver?
Well, okay, so to be fair to the
Yeah,
listeners,
yeah,
it's
yeah, go ahead.
it's been early on, uh, but I can speak to the fact that the training is sound and the application is real, and that the rate of return can be achieved by a little bit of time that you invest in your
Okay.
day monitoring your portfolio.
So let's go through the three things. Do you know? I know that most of your experience is paper trading. It's not that uh, I don't understand that. So, but can you see that you can make 2%? Like, have you
Yes,
done it? Yeah. Okay. You're doing more.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Number two, um, do you spend more than 10 minutes a day? Uh, I'm not talking about the program afterwards. Like, would 10 minutes a day be enough for you to do the one, two trade that you need to do?
The 10 minutes is more than enough. But
Mm.
because I got excited or I am excited and I'm digging into it a little bit deeper, I'm certainly spending a little bit more than 10 minutes a day, but
I know, but that's
that's
you.
voluntary. That's voluntary. The for the program and for you to deliver on what you taught, 10
Yeah.
minutes is more than enough.
Okay, good. And do you believe that of course, there's always risk, but do you believe that whatever we're doing here, getting this superb ROI, are we putting our money at a higher level of risk that we shouldn't?
No, you can almost argue that it's a lesser amount of risk.
Okay. Okay, so that was my question. Like, did it deliver in terms of it showed people how to, and it's doable, that you can get 2% a month around average with 10 minutes a day. What I'm trying to basically tell people is that there's like it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's actually you can do this in a way that is calm. You don't need day trading. You don't need to be riveted on looking at screens all day, and you not don't need to do crazy risky stuff to get decent ROI. Okay, how do you feel about the your ability to continue investing? I think you already started. So basically, do you feel that the program equipped you enough to be confident to trade on your own?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And did I try to sell you another program after we finished this one?
No, I'm the one asking you for another program.
Yeah. So people are used to, like, once everybody finishes a program, like usually there's another one that is pitched, and people are giving me shit in terms of like, where's the second program? I want, I want. But so anyway, I guess what I'm saying is that you feel what you took so far is totally enough for you to be confident to do it on your own. You don't need.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay, good. If you had to sum up your experience in this program in just one sentence, what would it be? If you're describing the program to somebody else.
Yeah, it's a great way to learn a framework and give yourself guidelines for responsible trading for the short term, but for, like you said, building wealth over a lifetime.
Okay, so I will, for the people who don't know me, so I'll just say a trait and you comment on it. Was I patient?
Yes.
Spend a little bit, like,
Yeah,
like.
because you have to be patient, and you are patient because, you know, I would suggest that when it's an introductory course, that you're going to get a lot of questions that I don't want to call them dumb because people are a little bit ignorant at the beginning. Like I was ignorant at the beginning to some of the terminology and whatnot. So you have to be patient. You are patient and allowing us to ask questions uh, to better understand the concepts, to better understand the theory and apply it.
Just want to tell you that yes, I display a lot of patience in the course. A lot of people tell me that like some people are putting me at fault in terms of the patience I give. But I myself, I'm not a patient person at all. Like if you know me one on one,
Yes,
you will know that I don't like to waste
yes,
time. But for me, being patient, I feel it is not just an obligation. This is what we're supposed to do. You guys are here to learn, so I have to take everybody where they are. So, okay, good. How about accessibility? Was I accessible, especially outside class?
yes, yeah. Either by email or by WhatsApp, you're pretty responsive. We didn't have to wait for a response at all.
Okay.
Sorry, did my
Um,
screen lag there a little bit? The answer was yes, you were responsive.
yeah, okay. How about was I stingy in time? Did you feel that I had limited time for a class?
No, no, no. You certainly went beyond class time almost regularly just to make sure that if somebody was not grasping a concept or didn't have a chance yet to share their screen, we took our time to accommodate everybody and we weren't rushed.
Yeah, my objective in the classes is for 100% of the people to reach a point at the end to do live trading confidently. So the class has nothing to do with time in my head. It has to do with the objectives that I need from the class, and the class doesn't end except when it's done, right? So that's why sometimes I don't know, some people we went for 3.5 hours, but this is what it needed for that time for this group at that time.
Yes,
How do, am I a man of integrity, a person of integrity?
yes, yes. You delivered on what you said you would deliver, and that's the integrity.
Okay. So would you recommend this program for others? And if so, why?
Yes, and I have already recommended it to others. Um,
You got your
and
brother, right?
yeah, so starting with my brother, and there was a couple of others as well that I gave the information to.
Mm,
And again, it's so that I can share, what I think is good for others, especially, when people come to me for information or for suggestions and some ideas, and especially those that are looking for a more active role in managing their money. I would say speak to Fedi and to look up his course.
okay. So if you go back 3 months ago, you would do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So that's all the questions. I'll just leave 2, 3 minutes for you to just talk freely about the course or whatever you want to share about this. Yeah. So you have the floor.
Yeah, like your questions were on point as to what students can expect to get out of it. Um, I think they also need to have some realistic expectations because the course, anyways, for me, created an excitement. So you have to temper that excitement and be patient with expectations in terms of rate of return,
Mm,
especially if the market is volatile and not in your favor. Because of
mm.
course, when everybody's making money, everybody's excited. But when they're losing money, they want to blame somebody, and it's not usually themselves. So the course gives a framework for you to be uh, systematic in your trading and to understand what happens and what you do to protect yourself if things don't go so well,
Mhm.
and how to use time to your advantage. Uh,
Yeah, and with the program, what you learned is that the worst thing that can happen is that you're not going to be theoretically there should not be any unrealized losses because all the worst case when it goes against you is just what you're going to buy a good stock at a discounted price, right?
yes,
So, okay, cool. Mark, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you in the course, and I hope you're having fun with the trading. And I remember the beginning of the like when I was in the beginning, it was very addictive. Like, I wanted to look at it every 5 minutes. Like
yes,
it's so fun. It's more fun for me when I'm outside on a beach or in Disney and I make a trade in line. It's the idea of me having fun somewhere and spending 5 minutes trying to make some money or getting some money. I don't, it's so appealing to me. I don't know why. It's just the fact that, you know why? I think because I'm traumatized. Because for me, making money was always related to being in a box in a 9 to 5 desk, cannot go out. You know what I'm saying? So for
yes,
me, it just gives me so much satisfaction when I do it while I'm in an airport or like in a beach or what.
yes. I think the people listening to this have to understand that that excitement is related to the freedom, not to the dollar.
Freedom.
Not
Correct. It's the
not
freedom.
to,
Yeah.
it's not the money being made. It's the freedom that you can be in control the way you
Correct.
want to be in control.
But it's also the money. When I was at Disney, I made a trade and I got the trip expenses for Disney, right? So
That's only exciting because Disney is so expensive.
it is so expensive. It's
Yes,
so expensive.
yes.
Beautiful, man. Thank you very much and have a beautiful day.
All right, all the best.